Yeah, go ahead and start, Anju, anytime. I think it's 10:05 now.
Great.
Uh, so
Yeah, let's begin.
I think we are in good shape. We have
Mm.
two wonderful students with us here, and Anmol, and also a very distinguished alumni person here in Ayush. And so I'm delighted to see them here, and they will represent our interests extremely well. I know that, no question about it. So
Totally.
I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you.
Thanks for
Great.
inviting us.
Thank
Great.
you.
So,
Okay, go ahead.
great. We'll start then. Thank you very much, everyone. A very good morning to you all. I know it's a Saturday morning and most of you might be just resting, but we really appreciate you taking out time to be here today. My name is Anju Singh. I'm the Regional Director for University of Arizona here. I'm here with our distinguished guest and my colleague. I'll introduce you very quickly. So we have, first of all, Professor Anil Agarwal. He is a professor at a very distinguished Eller College of Management. He teaches international business over there. Hello, Mr. Agarwal, and welcome to the session.
Thank you.
We also have Sengwin Han, who is our enrollment counselor for Southeast Asia. And we welcome Sengwin for joining us today morning. Thanks a lot for being here for us, Sengwin.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, so she will be happy to take any queries related to admissions, scholarships, and criteria. Just feel free to ask her questions. And welcome to Anmol Dia Agarwal. She is a current student in the University of Arizona pursuing a major in political sciences and a minor in business administration as well. She is a pre-med student as well. So very warm welcome to Anmol. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Nice. And of course, last but not the least, we do have Ayush Atri Sharma. He's an alumni of University of Arizona. We're so happy and excited to have you here today. And he has done a biology major from University of Arizona, joining us from Seattle. So welcome, Ayush. Welcome on the board. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. And of course, I have my lovely colleague Apurva Salvi here, who will be joining us to talk about University of Arizona offerings in some time. Thanks for being here, Apurva.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thanks, Anju.
Thank you. So how the flow of the event, of course, would be, we would be having a short welcome note from Professor Agarwal. Apurva would be talking about various study options which are available at University of Arizona, especially after post-pandemic. I'll be talking about the student engagement and career development services at the University of Arizona. We'll have Ayush sharing his experience as an alumni, followed by Anmol, who would be talking about her experience at University of Arizona as a current student. And of course, we would be having a very interesting quiz waiting for you and some goodie bags towards the end of it. So just to be attentive and try to sort of, listen to what we have to say, but we'll be definitely happy to answer any question that you have later. One housekeeping request here, please keep your mics on mute unless you're talking. Would really appreciate that for a smooth sort of session. And as and when you have any questions in the session, we would welcome you to leave it in the chat box. All right. So thanks again, and over to Apurva now.
Thanks, Anju. Would you be flipping the slides? Great. Hi, everyone. A very good morning to all of you and good evening to everyone joining from Tucson. My name is Apurva. I'm the Regional Director with the university. I'm based in Mumbai, and I'm a resource for all students who want to know more about the university, the different programs that we offer, the eligibility, and we also help students with their applications with the support of the amazing team that we have in Tucson. So to begin with, about the university, established in 1885 in Tucson. So you absolutely know that it's one of the oldest public universities in the US and extremely popular. We are one of the largest public institutions in the state of Arizona. These are some of the distinguished rankings and worth mentioning. So we come in the top 100 in the world by the US News and World Report ranking. We're also in the top 40 as far as the public research universities go in the US, ranked seventh for our online bachelors, again by the US News and World Report. And of course, it's a research university, so we've been ranked under different rankings for research. Now, where are we exactly located? I think a lot of students have questions about that, and they want to know where is the location of the university. So, University of Arizona is based in Tucson, in the state of Arizona. I'm sure Anmol and Ayush would give you their experiences about living in Tucson. And the next time you open the map of US, you'll be able to locate the university, so you know where Tucson is. We're between California and New Mexico. It's very close to San Diego, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and more. Okay, so a little bit about Tucson. It's a very friendly, laid-back student city. It's often, named in the top 10 cities to live in by the Business Insider. It's one of the big cities, and also very affordable. So it's often in the most affordable cities to live in the US. I think the temperature is extremely, it's quite feasible to live there because it's not extreme temperature. You would see that the winter temperature on an average is between 18 to 24 degrees, and it is filled with sunshine throughout the year. So for anybody who loves this kind of weather, I think Tucson is an ideal place. It's surrounded by greens, a lot of mountains. For people who love outdoor like me, I think Tucson is a great place to be. These are some of our popular majors. It's very difficult for us to note down all the majors because we have so many options. We have about 140 different majors that we offer at our distinguished colleges. These are some of the popular ones for the undergrad, right from aerospace engineering to astronomy to architecture, law. I think, one fact that I would like to say is we were the first to establish or to introduce the Bachelor's of Law program in the US. So I think we take huge pride in that. Right from mechanical to optical sciences, and all our engineering majors are extremely popular. So now I'll be taking you all through the study options that we have at the university. I think post-pandemic, a lot of students have questions about how the classes are being offered at the university. So I'll take you all through some study options. And of course, we have some first-hand information from Anmol and Ayush. So they will, of course, share their experience about the classes going on currently. But University of Arizona has always been for the students. So we've been very bright right from the beginning of the pandemic. The teams have got together to offer some really amazing options for everyone, something that would suit everybody. So we currently are offering classes in these four models or modalities. We of course have the in-person classes that are going on the campus. We have flexi in-person, which is more like a hybrid model where you attend classes some days of the week, and then some days you can basically attend them online. We also have live online, so which means that whenever a professor is taking a class, some students will of course be able to attend in person, but at the same time you will also be able to attend the live courses, or the live lectures online. And we also have something called as I courses, which is quite similar to the options that I just mentioned. So I think just before, or during the pandemic, in the earlier months, we launched something called as Arizona Global, and this was something that we did so that the American degree is accessible to everybody out there. All students who are willing to study might not be able to travel due to whatever reasons, but still are keen to pursue a US degree. So the customized degree paths, they offer you the option to begin the degree in India and finish it in the US. So students can study for up to 2 years, that is close to about 4 semesters or less, while studying online here. And then you can finish the degree at the main campus in Tucson. Now, remember, you're able to transfer to the main campus at any point of time. So you could go after the first semester or the second, it's absolutely your choice. We're here to give you the flexibility so that when you think is the right time to move to the campus, you can. We also have some fully online options that were pretty much there even before the pandemic. So we've been one of the very few universities that have always offered the fully online bachelors. We have some amazing graduate certificate programs that we've been doing for a couple of years now. So if you want to study, live at the comfort of your home, so the fully online options are there for you. And you can see that the fees per annum are quite reasonable. So if you want to know more, just reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to give you more information about Arizona Global. Now, I know that a lot of the students here are probably applicants and offer holders, so are so keen to, see yourself at the university this August. But I also know that a lot of you are looking at further intakes, future intakes. So maybe you are in your grade 10th or in grade 11th, and do not be disappointed. We have something for you too. So we have something called as the Early University Program, that is the EUP, which was recently launched by the university. It's Arizona Academy. So what it typically means that high school students who are in their grade 11 and grade 12 can enroll for UA courses in their last 2 years of high school, and they can earn and apply up to 15 credits towards their undergraduate degree. So these are transferable credits that you can earn. These credits are nothing but some foundation courses that you would anyways do no matter which American university you go to. So while you are still studying in 11th or 12th grade, if you just spend an hour or two extra, you'll be able to earn these credits. Now, these credits apply towards the Arizona undergraduate degree, of course. So you can transfer these credits to us, but you can also transfer it to any other American university. If you want to do an in-person undergraduate or fully online, these are all transferable credits. You can take them at a schedule that works best for you. So we have multiple start dates throughout the year. We have credits that you can take in summers and throughout the year. So there is a lot of flexibility for students who are keen to take these credits, managing your 11th and 12th grade studies, of course. These credits also help you, earn some prestigious scholarships at the University of Arizona when you transfer to us for the undergraduate. So you can earn up to $12,000 per annum scholarship when you join the university after you earn these credits. I know this is a lot of information about the EUP, and but feel free to speak to us and we'll be very happy to explain you further. This was just a gist and you know that this option is available. Let's go through some of the admission requirements. We of course have the expert here, Ms. Han, who will talk more about it and answer all your questions. I wanted to give you all a glimpse of how do the admission requirement work. So we require the last 3 years of coursework from high school. So if you're currently in grade 12, we require the 9th, 10th, and 11th mark sheets so that we can review your GPA. And the GPA calculation is on the scale of 4. Do not worry if your current school does not offer that. I think the experts at the campus know very well how to calculate it across different curriculums. So do not worry about that. The minimum that we need is 3.0 on the scale of 4. As you know that due to the pandemic, there are some slight changes, and SAT, ACT is not required as a mandate for the admission. So if you're worried that you do not have an SAT score, that's absolutely fine. You can apply even without that. Personal statement and letters of recommendation are optional. So I think, but I always tell students to write their personal statement because I think it's a great way to express yourself and all your experiences, and it gives the admissions team a great glimpse, in your profile. These are our English proficiency requirement. Now, of course, I think Ms. Han would tell you, under what circumstances can you get a waiver for these. They are, of course, assessed on case-to-case basis, but generally these are the requirements. So we accept anywhere from, all the IELTS or a TOEFL, or you can also do the PTE or the recently introduced Duolingo. We accept all of these tests. Now, a lot of students, of course, ask questions on the scholarship, and in recognition for the students who exhibit outstanding academic performance, we have something called as the Global Wildcat Award. Now, the Global Wildcat Award is on the basis of a number of factors, but of course, primarily your GPA. So this is just, for you to know what kind of awards you would be eligible for, depending on the GPA for the fall of 2021. Okay, I think over to my colleague Anju, who will take you through the student engagement and the career development. So stay tuned, listen well, because we have the quiz. Over to you, Anju.
Thank you, Purva. So when we talk about various student engagement and career development services, we have a dedicated team serving the current students who are in the university. So in terms of various services, we've trying to highlight the career services team helps you with finding jobs and internships. They also help you with the self and career discovery, build skills and gain experience, networking and career courses. So under jobs and internship search, as you know, it takes a lot of time for students to find these kind of part-time or full-time jobs later. It's always suggested to start early on, so earlier the better. And then, of course, because it includes a lot of things like they also help you with the professional resume and how American companies want to see your resume. So that is something which is really important. So the team would help you write their resume, how to write a covering letter, and would also let you know what exactly are the tips for making a great resume so that the potential employer gets interested in your resume and finally calls you for an interview. So that's really important, and that is what the team does. And of course, they also arrange a lot of mock interview sessions for you. Again, presenting yourself is really important during the interview. And so that is something which the team does to ensure that you present yourself well during these interviews. So these kind of sessions definitely gives you a lot of exposure. But another thing that they do is self and career discovery, which basically focuses a lot on finding yourself, what are your key strengths, what are your skills, and how to highlight those skills when you are getting interviewed in front of employer. So through these sessions, the team tries to sort of highlight what exactly the employer wants to see. Besides that, of course, when we talk about building skills and gaining experience, how the team does is basically a lot of courses are available, career courses, for example, a couple of examples.
I'll show you some pictures.
Can you please mute your mic, students? So when we talk about certain career courses, there are certain courses through which you can earn a credit towards your degree. So some examples are like Design Your Life, through which you can definitely learn something new. And there's another course, which is an example, is Design Your Skills. So based on these experience, you can definitely learn a lot. And you, as I said, you can definitely earn a credit towards your degree by doing these courses. So these are available and are conducted by the team there itself. So also as a part of the career support and resources, as I said, there are a lot of ways through which we try and assist students. So one such way is through Handshake. Handshake basically is the university's official job portal through which it's basically campus interviewing system, as you can call it, and through which you can definitely find various jobs which are available on the campus, various internships that you can take up, and later on, once you graduate, definitely you will be able to find out various full-time jobs available for the current students and alumni as well. The other services through which we try to help you explore or discover your strengths, as we were talking about writing resumes or cover letter, that is something which is taken care by Life Lab, which is called, we call it Virtual Life Lab. And that is how people try to sort of discover their strengths and try to highlight their skills. So the team basically sits with you and helps you finding those. And of course, crafting cover letters and writing resumes is also part of that. The team also organizes a lot of events, and I'll just try to take you through what all events are basically organized as a part of this. So there are a lot of career fairs which are being organized by the team. Some such examples you can see at the right hand side towards the end of this slide. So basically a couple of examples is like the next one, which is coming on March, for example, is PhD and Master Virtual Career. So what it would offer you is the local employers would be there to sort of speak to you and talk to you about various opportunities which are available for masters and PhD students. The other such example could be the Tucson jobs now, for example. So through this particular, now everything is virtual because of pandemic. So otherwise students do get chance to meet these employers in person. But through, for example, Tucson Job now, the virtual event which is happening, the student would get a flavor of what the job market is like and all the local job or the employers who would be there in the fair, you will get an opportunity to speak to them. So these kind of events keep on happening throughout the year, especially when we talk about the career fairs. So career fairs happen pretty often, like once in 3 months, and the department also have their own career fairs happening. So whenever or wherever you are joining, it would be best to be in touch with the department to understand when exactly these career fairs are happening and be a part of that. The other event that happens fairly very often is the information session. So when we talk about the information session, these are basically conducted by the employers. So these sessions are normally hosted by the employers to educate the candidates or prospective candidates to make them understand about their, let's say, the culture of the company or what sort of skills they need and what sort of vacancies are available. And it also helps you basically network with the employers, right? So these sessions, again, are very frequently organized by the career services team. So it's best to keep your eyes and ears open, and whenever they're organized, and most of this information is available on the website. So it's better to sort of, keep visiting this website, which is career.arizona.edu, when you become a part of the University of Arizona family, and then keep yourself updated about various sessions, be a part of that, and just keep yourself updated. The third thing that the team does is a lot of workshops or mixer sessions, which would basically be workshops wherein you can build your skills again, to learn through the masters who are the experts in this particular area, and definitely to understand more about what is going around, what skills are needed in the industry, and how you can keep yourself abreast of all that, right? Again, one such example is, let's say, the Southern Arizona Intelligence Summit, which would be happening this is sometime in the month of April. So the students who are interested in this particular field would join and understand more about what is happening in this particular area. So another question we get very fairly and very frequently from the students is about the salary packages and what sort of employment rate the university has. So when we talk particularly about this, I thought of sharing some examples from one of the popular courses, which is LA College of Management. It's our business school. So generally talking, the average salary of an undergraduate student is between $55,000 to $60,000 per annum. But when we talk particularly about LA College of Management, the average salary is about $54,348. And when we talk about the students who participate in internship, we have about 90% of the students who participate, which is really, really great. So this is something that we have for the students to understand. The other such college is College of Engineering, and College of Engineering also has been very popular among Indian students, and we have seen the average salaries for the engineers who would be graduating from University of Arizona would be about 66,000. All right, so this is just an average salary packages that we wanted to share with you so that you understand what to expect once you graduate from the university. Of course, when we talk about the placement rate is also quite high, as you can see for College of Engineering is about 91%. But of course, to ensure that you graduate with a good job, you really have to just keep in touch with the university, the career services, and keep yourself busy doing internships or on the campus jobs and things like that. So this is just very few top employer that we try to sort of collate together. Our students in past have been working with companies like Apple, Amazon. I'm sure you all have heard about these companies. We have alumni working with Facebook, General Motors, GE, all the consulting firms like EY, Deloitte, PwC, Thomson Reuters, PepsiCo, Walmart, Vanguard. So of course, this is just compilation of few top names. The list is huge. And again, if you need more information about what the alumni are doing and what sort of jobs the profile they hold, you are most welcome to visit our website to know more. Also, just to make you understand how the part-time and full-time jobs work here. So the students, when you apply for a F1 student visa, and you definitely can work on the campus. And while you work, you are allowed to work for about 20 hours while you're studying. But during the vacations, you can work full-time, which is about 40 hours in a week. All right. The average wage that you can expect to earn while you are working, especially on campus, would be somewhere around $15. All right. And another thing which is really important for you to understand is, how you can work during your studies. So basically CPT is one such option, which is curricular practical training. So after completion of your first academic year, you can definitely get into your CPT, and university would again be more than happy to assist you how to go about it. And especially the students who are pursuing a STEM courses, which is the students who are into sciences or those who are into technology, engineering, and mathematics course particularly, would be basically allowed to stay back in US for extra 1 year to after 2 years. Of course, the OPT normally would be for about 2 years, but if you're a STEM student, you would be given an extra year to stay there and work in the US. Of course, if you need more information, you can visit the US consulate website and have a better understanding about that. If you have more questions, we can definitely take it towards the presentation, end of the presentation. Of course, then another thing that we wanted to share with you, that we are having a virtual world tour coming in. So it would be between 22nd and 26th March. If you would like to meet us in person and you wanted to interact with us, you can register on the web link, which is provided here. But anyways, since you are all registered with us, you would be hearing from us, and we will be more than happy to share more information about how to register for this particular event. Normally, we try to visit different cities in India. Last year, we visited Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore. But this year, because of the pandemic, we are just restricting it to the virtual event, and we will be hoping to see you all there again. So with this, if I'm just coming to the end towards my talk, if you want to reach out to us, we are both based in India. So you can speak to me. That's my email ID. You have my number, WhatsApp number. And of course, you can definitely reach out to Apurva with her email ID and WhatsApp number. So thanks for listening to me, guys. Now, I would like to quickly invite our alumni who's been waiting very patiently for last, half an hour or so. So welcome, Ayush. I would invite you to share about your experience about studying in the university and later, in your job and everything. So welcome.
Sure, thanks for having me. Hey everyone, I'm Ayush. I studied at the University of Arizona from 2016 until just this last year. I graduated with a biology degree major. So I was asked to talk about a few things, one of which was my overall learning experience. I can't talk enough about the University of Arizona's learning experience. It really was a fantastic time for my 4 years there. I am from Seattle, Washington, a little bit up north, much more colder, a lot rainier. So it was a nice change of pace going down to Tucson, Arizona and studying there for 4 years. One thing that I learned pretty quick is my time management and balance. So going into college was a little bit of a change for me in terms of going from high school or, 9th, 10th, 11th grade into college or undergrad. But, once you get the hang of that pretty quickly, time really does fly. So make sure that you enjoy every minute of it. All of the classes that I took, so I did a biology degree. So all my classes were revolved around science courses and such. All the classes that I did take progressively got harder, of course, more difficult, but the farther you go along with it, at least from my experience, the more you enjoy it. It challenges you. All the professors were great. They were very, very helpful. There were often study groups that were made between the students, and then also study groups that were made by the professors themselves to help engage the students and help them with whatever questions or tutoring they needed and such like that. In terms of facilities, the University of Arizona, first of all, is a very, very beautiful campus. I'm not sure if you guys have all seen pictures or have been able to visit the campus yet. I know with this pandemic going on, it's definitely difficult to travel, but when you do have the opportunity to visit, definitely do. The campus is beautiful. One thing that I really utilized and really took advantage of in my time in Arizona was the gyms. So aside from going to classes and stuff like that, and setting aside that study time, there is a great gym facility that you can. They have tennis courts, they have basketball courts, they have soccer fields, everything that you need, a whole gym and stuff like that. So that was always a great kind of way to end the day or relax, hang out with friends and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely utilized that a lot. For campus and city life, for me, let's see, my first year, my fall semester and spring semester, I was in the dorms in one of the dorms. It was a little bit of a smaller dorm, but I really enjoyed that because I had 3 other roommates, but our room was fairly large. And there were study rooms there. It was very, very close to campus, being on campus naturally. So living in the dorms was definitely something that I enjoyed, and I would definitely recommend at least trying that out for a year. I think either Anju or Purva, I think Anju had mentioned, I'm not sure, they had mentioned that Tucson is a very, very affordable place to live. And that is definitely true. There's a lot of houses that are available for rent around campus. And after my first year of living in the dorms, I did want a little bit of a change because I wanted to kind of live with my friends that I made over that year. So we had rented out a place very close to campus, only about a 5 to 10 minute walk away from campus. So not far at all. So we rented out a house for that year. Very, very affordable place to rent, very close to campus. I would also recommend doing that. I know there are a few apartment buildings around campus. I never lived in an apartment building, so I can't really speak for that from experience myself. But I did enjoy living in like a separate house myself with my friends. In terms of city life, I know this was also mentioned a little bit earlier. Tucson is a pretty quiet city besides the campus itself. It's a very, very college town, like student town and stuff like this. So, you know, around campus, there's definitely going to be a lot more to do than the farther you go out from campus. But regardless of that, there are still many things to do. There's a lot of activities, there's bowling alleys, movie theaters, et cetera, et cetera. There's always something that you can find to do around campus. But for the most part, I stayed around campus. I didn't have a car myself, so it was mostly just public transportation or walking. But even with that, everything is very, very manageable in the distance that I was at from campus to my home to wherever else I needed to go. There's a few grocery stores along the way as well. I know for our Indian community that is on this call right now, there are a few Indian stores, grocery stores and stuff like that, which me being away from home, I eventually started missing that home cooked food and stuff. And so I was able to go to some grocery stores and pick up whatever I needed. But besides that, the city life itself is fairly quiet. So you'll definitely be able to get a lot of your work done. You'll be able to study, but you'll also still be able to have plenty of activities to do, opportunities to hang out with friends and stuff like that, hopefully when this pandemic is over. In terms of part-time jobs and employment opportunities, I personally didn't have a job through my college career. Now being done with it, I wish that I had. You know, it doesn't take a whole lot of time, especially for a part-time job. I have a lot of friends that did do part-time jobs on campus while going to school, and they had told me that, you know, it's not bad at all. The hours aren't bad, especially if you're working on campus itself. It's definitely something that they said they would take advantage of if they had to do it all over again. There's plenty of jobs, plenty of opportunities if you are interested in that. Take a look into that. I think there was some information posted on the slides earlier, and I think this meeting is being recorded. So if you missed that, hopefully you didn't, because there is a quiz at the end, I'm told. If you missed that though, take a look back at the recording and look into that information, because a part-time job, if you have the time available, is definitely something that I've heard is worth your time, worth your while. For University of Arizona support, I talked a little bit about this in terms of like study groups and stuff. There's a very, very big like tutor group, if you want to call it. It's called the Think Tank. And this is a very, very, very good resource to use in almost any subject that you're in. I utilized it for some of my English classes. They are available to kind of like peer review your essays, your writing, grammar, everything that needs to be done. There was also help sessions for all of my major science classes, which was very, very helpful. I don't know exactly, I wasn't in the business aspect major or minor through my college career. I'm not sure if the think tank has resources available for that, but I do know there are other study groups and help sessions available for business majors itself. But in terms of science, like heavy science related courses, the think tank does help a lot. And I would say whether you're struggling or not, whether you need help or not, it's definitely something that you should take advantage of and see if that is of any help to you, of any, just reviewing your work and studying and practicing with them is always a good opportunity and a good tool to utilize. That is really all that I had. I'm not sure if you guys want me to talk about something else or.
That's great. That's great. We really enjoyed listening to your experience. Feel like going back to the campus again. seriously,
Oh,
but I'm sure.
absolutely. Yeah.
But I'm sure if students have more questions, they'll be asking. You just hang around a little bit.
Sure.
And thank you for that. Anmol, may I invite you to share your experience as a student, especially during the pandemic. Particularly, students are waiting to know, how did you cope up as a student? I know it's not easy to be away from family. What sort of classes, what sort of support was available, to you from the university?
Yes, absolutely. Hi guys, my name is Anil Agarwal. I am currently a senior at the University of Arizona. So sadly, this is going to be my last semester. And I can definitely tell you that after these 4 years, I am so sad to be graduating. I think it's something that I'm sad about on a daily basis. But that's only because it was absolutely the best experience, even with the pandemic. Um, I think that my life in particular, whether that was I was grateful, whether I was lucky or not, it didn't change that much based on education and clubs and stuff. Would say that there's a little bit of a learning curve in the beginning if you're switching from in-person classes to live online. However, I can attest to the fact that the education level is the exact same and there's still plenty of opportunities to make friends, get help from professors, office hours, anything like that where you would need, just some extra support. Um, yeah, honestly, I don't think it's changed that much. Of course, it sucks not being able to go in class in person. But it's really great being able to do things from home because, of course, you do miss your family in college. I would say that's one of my biggest things because I'm really close to my family. But the fact that I'm actually in Los Angeles right now, which is where I'm from, and the fact that I've been able to do my entire last year of college from home is something that I'm so grateful for. It's such a unique experience being able to see my mom and my family every single day while still finishing my education. Like that's a once in a lifetime opportunity that I think you should really take advantage of. Um, and as for clubs, I am in a lot of clubs. And that's like a really great way that I would encourage all of you, even if you don't choose the University of Arizona. Well, I wish you would, but even if you don't, I think clubs are like an amazing thing that the American education system really promotes, that you should all take advantage of. So currently, I'm the president of the Indian Student Association, which if you're ever missing home is a really great time. We always have events like Diwali and Holi and Garba, anything that you're gonna miss. And we always have Indian food. You get to meet a bunch of Indian friends. That's how I made most of my friends on campus. So that's a really great opportunity. And we're still doing things virtually. So if you're nervous about how your social life is gonna be, or how adapting to the pandemic is gonna be, in a college setting, I can assure you that you're still going to have a great experience. I know it can be scary, but I'm still here. I'm having a great time. I still get to see all my friends, make new friends, have super fun events online. For ISA, we've been doing like game nights, like Bollywood trivia. We're gonna do maybe a Maggie cooking night pretty soon, where everybody shares their favorite Maggie recipes. We also have recently there was a Bollywood dance team that was just created, and they're gonna be competing nationally. So there's like so many great opportunities that you can really take advantage of. In terms of educational clubs, we do have a debate team here on campus called Model UN. If you have not heard of that, I'm the vice president for that. And basically I get to train high school students on how to debate. It's a really great time. And we're still hosting our annual conference for debate where, delegates from all places like Mexico, all over the country and all over internationally get to join our Model UN conference. So I would just say that there's a lot of opportunities and resources that are available to you all, and to not be as scared. I know it's a little bit difficult with these current times, but you can still have a great college experience even with having everything virtually. But that's all I have to say. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there's anything else you would like me to touch on, also please let me know.
Thanks, Anmol. Thanks very much, Anmol. That sounds like a lot of fun you're having, So it's really nice to hear your experience as well. So thank you for that. Students, we would definitely encourage your questions and we'll answer them very soon. But before that, I'll very quickly invite Professor Anil Agarwal, who teaches at Ella College of Management, to share more about what sort of experiences he had in terms of teaching and what our university doing to ensure that the students are safe, and how we are planning to basically planning the campus re-entry. So Professor Agarwal, if you could just talk about that, it would be really, really informative for us. So you're on mute.
Oh, thank you, Anju, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk to all of you. And really, it was a pleasure to hear both Anmol and Ayush share their experiences. And I can tell you from my experience in attending different universities in the US. I went to Michigan, I went to York University in Canada, and other places as well. The University of Arizona is an extremely friendly place. It's a very friendly campus. It's a beautiful setting, as Ayush mentioned. It's a beautiful campus, and I can vouch for our counselors and our admissions officers and registration office. And Sengyun here in our UA Global office is one of the best. She's so friendly and so eager to help students in terms of their enrollment process and answer all your questions. So that is one really big thing. And in my experience, the students I have in my class are extremely bright, very intelligent. The kind of teaching we do here, just so that you all understand, we don't really teach from the book as they do in India. We don't have one final big exam or two big, huge final big exams. We don't do any of that. We don't expect students to memorize chapters and memorize, essays and so on. We focus very heavily on making sure the students have a great learning experience, like Anmol mentioned. So we focus a lot on short quizzes, class discussions, and we expect the students to read the books, read the recommended textbooks by themselves, and then come to class prepared to have a very lively discussion on different topics. And students are graded on their participation and also in their involvement in class discussions, and also on many numerous presentations that they have to do, which kind of mirror the real world scenarios, especially from my perspective, because I was in the workplace in executive positions for about 36 years. And then I started teaching here at the Eller College as well. As far as the pandemic is concerned, the university is very cognizant. They have frequent testing for all the students. They have lots of support groups available. They are also in the process of vaccinating the students, all throughout campus as quickly as possible. They have frequent sessions available in terms of the university presidents and provost holding information sessions for students. There is a COVID hotline available for students to call and ask questions all the time. They're practicing very active social distancing programs. The percentage of students who are coming to campus right now, I think that starting next week, February 22nd, that percentage is going to go up to about 40 to 50% probably. But still, a majority of the classes are still, a lot of them are either flex, which is half and half, or else a majority of them are online. So that's what all I have to say. I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I want to open it up for questions and give some time to Senguin to maybe elaborate on any of the admissions processes and so on, since she's been here patiently listening to all of us.
Thank you, Professor Agarwal. That's really helpful and very informative for the students who are planning to join University of Arizona soon. So Senguin, before we just jump onto the question answer sessions, would you like to share any tips or any based on your experience, what students should be focusing on in terms of making a good application? Anything that you would like to share from admission perspective? Would be more than happy to hear that.
So from an admissions perspective, I think one of the most important things is always just be looking out for emails that we send out when you do start the application process. And if you have any questions, you are always welcome to email us or WhatsApp us. All of our enrollment counselors, including myself, and I will be helping if you email or WhatsApp me. We are just here and we are eager, and we just want to make this experience of applying as easy as possible for you, because know that it can be a little bit more confusing for you guys to apply to an American university. There's a lot of language that you might not understand that we use, and the application process might be different from applying to a university in India compared to a university in the States. So if you have any questions, always feel free to ask us those questions and we will get them answered for you. And when you do apply, you will be receiving a lot of emails from us from what you are missing on your application, maybe. Like you, I think Anju mentioned a little bit about what we need in the application process, things like transcripts, the English proficiency scores, things like that. If we are missing it, or if our admissions evaluators who will be reviewing your application, if they believe that they need more information, then you will be receiving emails about it, reminding you to, hey, you need to complete this. And we will also be reaching out as well. So I think one important thing in the admissions process is to just be looking out for these emails. And I don't think it hurts to be proactive during the admissions process. So if you think you're bothering us, you're not. So just ask those questions if you have, and I'll make sure to get back to you.
Great, thanks, Sanguine. And just to let you know, guys, she's super quick, super woman who always very prompt in replying to her responses and very helpful as well. So please feel free to reach out to her directly as well. Now we'll just quickly do a quiz and we'll be coming on to your questions as well. So the first question that we would like to ask you all students, so whoever is wanting to participate, they can leave the answer in the chat box, guys. So whoever answers first would be winning that swag bag from University of Arizona. I will be sending across to you. The first question coming on. So very simple, we're gonna keep it. So the first question is, when was the University of Arizona established? Which year? Please leave your answers here.
Wow, that was so quick.
Very good. So the correct answer, Apurva, you can just note down so that we know who is the winner here. And first correct answers would be, we will be announcing it towards the end of this. So the second question coming on, guys, all ready? Okay, the second question is, where exactly, in which city is University of Arizona situated? Okay.
Hanika typed the answer even before the question ended.
Yes, of course. I think they were anticipating. We kept it quite simple. We underestimated you guys, sorry. But good to know that it's definitely registered as Tucson. So great, thank you for that answer. Sapurva, do register who's the winner here. And the third question, of course, is when we talk about Uarizona Academy, it is meant for students in which grades? I hope you heard us, but we'll be really happy to hear your answer. So it is meant for which grade student? 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th? Who can do it? Awesome. So we have an answer over there as well. We will be announcing the winners. Thank you, guys. Awesome. So you guys were very attentive. We're really impressed with you all. Thank you very much.
It invited us to note down the names of the winners.
Yeah, so while Apurva does that, we'll just quickly, take the questions. So the first question which was asked was, let me just go through that.
Yeah, I think, Anju, there are some questions that have directly come. So I think if you mind, I'll just read it out to them. And
go ahead.
So Tanish is asking about the Arizona Global course. If there is a university in India, I can pursue my bachelor's degree from.
Mr. Agarwal, would you like to talk about that? So you're on mute.
Sir, you're on mute.
What did you say, Apurva? I didn't hear it.
Sir, he's asking about the Arizona Global, and if there is a university in India where he can do his bachelor's from, and probably then transfer to the main campus. I think that's what his question is.
Yeah, so I think we offer a dual degree program at Amrita University in South India. Amrita has 5 campuses in South India right now. They're also going to be opening a campus in Delhi next year, I believe, in Noida somewhere. And so, no, in Faridabad, sorry. And there, the students can take courses there as well. So we do have some campus collaborations in India. If you're interested in law programs, then OP Jindal, we have a collaboration with them that students can take their courses there. However, the other option, of course, as you both know, Apurva and Sanguin can explain that as well, is you already said it, where students can do online, like Anmol mentioned. You can do your first 1 year or 2 years, online from the comfort of your home. And then you can transfer your credits and come to the university, depending upon the kind of major you have chosen. There are certain programs that you cannot do online. For example, computer science is something that you may not be able to do completely online. You can take some courses as non-degree credits, and then you can transfer those courses to, let's say, a computer science major when you transfer to the University of Arizona main campus. So one of the biggest advantages for students is that if you do them online in India, your cost is going to be amazingly low. It's going to be only about $700 per course, as compared to $3,600 per course as a foreign student. So if you, let's say, take 3 or 4 courses online in India before you come here, you save yourself and your parents a boatload of money, and also living expenses and everything else. And you've also shortened your degree program. So there's nothing wrong with that in terms of doing it, doing a few of these courses online. And you can check with Sanguin and also some of the counselors as to which courses you can take depending upon your major, and they can guide you and help you in that process as well. So those are all options that you can choose.
That's great. Thank you,
And
Mr.
Sanguin, did I say that right? Did you want to add anything to that?
I think you covered everything.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. I'm planning to take up biology as my major. So if I were to opt for online classes, then how would I make up for my lab requirements?
Do you want me to answer that, Apurva?
Sure, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, so of course, Anmol can, Ayush can answer a lot of questions around biology to this particular student in terms of the workload, how great the course is, and I'm sure he really enjoyed it, as he mentioned. So if you have any specific questions, you have the right person here today in our group. He seems to be amazingly bright and very smart young man. So you can ask him, guys, whatever you like. But in terms of the lab work, the way that program would work is that the professors might give you some exercises to do in a lab, kind of a setting in India, or most likely your lab courses will be deferred till you come to the main campus here. And then you would be able to take those lab courses here along with your other courses and apply them for a full credit towards your degree. So that is normally how we do, let's say, if somebody wanted to do electrical engineering online. Electrical engineering has a lot of practical labs as well. So the way the department works it out is students take the online programs that are purely online, and then when the student transfers and comes here to the main campus, they can then take their lab courses.
So I do have a couple. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I do have a couple of things to add, as I'm also a pre-med student, so I do know
Yeah,
a little bit about this.
great.
So a lot of the classes, of course, right now, of course, they're subject to change next year based on vaccinations and things like that. I'm not entirely sure on if the lab procedures are going to change. But as of right now, for organic chemistry, biology, all of those classes, your labs are completely online. There was a period of time where some labs were offered in person. However, it's not mandatory or required that you attend those labs if you do not feel comfortable. Seeing as though we did have a little bit of a peak of, COVID where you had to stay
Yeah,
at home and all over the US. So there's always an option, even for my online classes. I think that's something that Apurva or Anju talked about a little bit, where there's different classes available. I know for all of my classes, they're currently live online, but as of last week, we did get the opportunity to have them be in person, but you always get the opportunity to still do them virtually. So if you're not comfortable with coming to class, or you are in India, or anything like that, I do have some international friends that are currently in India and still, able to do all of their classes virtually and are still able to do everything that they need and fulfill their major and foundation courses while having no problems. So yeah.
wonderful. That's a great answer, Anmol. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
So
Yeah,
the
so
next
that's really completes the answer for the student who asked that. So it's very convenient, extremely flexible. Yeah.
So the next question we have is, if a student wants to do masters post graduation, what are the options? And I think to answer this, I could think of the accelerated masters that we have. I think it's an excellent option for students. Isn't
Right.
that right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, maybe Ayush can address that a little bit. This is just generally speaking, anybody who's doing an undergraduate program, Ayush, if they want to go for a master's program at the university, whether they are international or domestic students, basically they have to start preparing for it mentally, maybe 6 months to 9 months in advance. Put your applications together, talk to the different department heads, professors, whoever you can. And especially being an international student, you have to be very proactive and make sure you have top-notch grades and you're doing some superb work so you can apply for assistantships. And if you can get an assistantship, which a lot of graduate departments at the university have a significant funding. That's one of the important things to remember, is at the grad level, the departments here at the university have a lot of funding from the state that allows them to have a pool of money available for grad assistants. So those assistantships are available, but you have to really make an effort and prepare for it. They're not just going to throw them in your lap. And if you do get the assistantship, let's say even if you get it after the first term, your tuition fees are waived. And so that's a huge deal. That's a big deal, especially being an international student, right? Ayush, have you considered going for your master's?
Um, so exactly what you said is a lot of what I could also concur with. I haven't considered my master's. I am thinking about going into medical school.
Sure.
So taking some time and working on that process.
Wonderful.
So currently I am not really affiliated with the University of Arizona besides my 4 wonderful years there in undergrad. But I do have a few friends who are looking into graduate programs at the University of Arizona and their masters. And as Mr. Agarwal had mentioned, you do want to start preparing for that a little bit earlier. From what they have told me, about like 6 to 9 months earlier. Start getting all of the information, all of the material that you need ready to submit. Get your applications in order. Make sure you make those connections with the department heads, the directors, whoever it is. Another thing that I could add, at least in the science field, is the University of Arizona is a very, very highly ranked school for research studies, especially as a student. You can there's always research opportunities and internships for students to participate in and to work on. And that could definitely help your resume and help kind of clear up any confusion, it could definitely help guide your path into something that you may not know that you're interested in. But regardless of all of that, it will certainly help your application if you are trying to apply into a University of Arizona graduate program or master's program, even outside of the University of Arizona. Any research, internship, anything, any of these science projects, any of these things that you are affiliated with personally, these can definitely help your overall resume and anything that you apply to. So that is something that I forgot to mention a little bit earlier, but definitely take advantage of some of these research opportunities. I know there are plenty in the science field. I'm not sure about the business field. I know there are some, not research opportunities per se, but there are definitely internships and assistantships that are available in the business in terms of like Eller and such like that. But definitely take advantage of that. That can help your overall application to graduate or master's programs.
Great. Thanks. Thank you so much, Ayush, for adding that. We'll quickly move on to the next question. I think Anmol can probably answer this. What are some of the part-time jobs a student can take up? And what is the support or any support forums regarding that the students have available on campus?
Yeah, so in terms of part-time job opportunities and just job opportunities in general, we do always have a job fair. And actually something that was really great during the pandemic that we were able to adjust to was our job fair actually did get to move virtually. So typically we have our job fair on campus where all the job opportunities, like all the departments set up tents on campus, and you can basically just walk around and talk to the different departments and see where you may want to apply. And since things are not necessarily in person and functioning on campus, they actually did move that virtually. So that's a really great opportunity. Once you enroll as a student, you can attend the job fair. You get like emails from the University of Arizona that'll tell you when the job fair is. They're typically one every semester. They're usually like about a month into the semester. And that basically just gives you like all the information you'll need. I never personally had a part-time job, but I know that one of my best friends and actually my roommate in college works for the law school at U of A while still doing undergrad. And that's something that she absolutely loves because she's a law major. So she gets to make connections with people while also still, focusing on her education and still having a job. So there's a lot of different opportunities that you can have for jobs on campus.
That's great. Are there any examples of some other jobs that students can take up on campus?
Yes. So basically every department that I know of has job opportunities like Eller. I'm in the SGPP school, which is basically political science. So we have job opportunities where you can do administrative things, you can do assistant things. I don't know because there's so many job opportunities, I can't possibly tell you the expanse. There's also other jobs, like one of my friends works at Chick-fil-A, which is a restaurant on campus. So you can work at the Union, you can work at the bookstore, and all the various restaurants we have. So there's a lot. I mean, I don't know.
Wow, that
Yeah,
really,
I don't know all of
that
them.
does sum up to answering both the questions. Okay, let's move on to the next question. I think sir already addressed about the percentage of students on campus during the pandemic. Apart from that, we have student asking, can a student completing IB certificate course also join the undergraduate program? I think Ms. Han can take this question.
Penguin, you can take that one.
So the answer is yes. If you are completing the IB certificate program, you can apply. And if we will need your final IB test results, I believe, and you'll need to send it in a PDF form test when you apply.
Great, thanks. Thank you so much. We have a couple of more questions. I think, Sanika, you want to know if you can unmute yourself and ask. Yeah, please go ahead, but if you can wait, maybe if you have like some more questions, there are other questions that maybe we'll take up quickly and then you can, speak to one of us. Um, who can guide us in person on how to put application in order starting at class 11? Yeah, class 11. I think Niyati, both me and Anju are available here, so if you need any guidance for putting up your application, do let us know. You can reach out to either of us.
And even Sanguine, they can email her or WhatsApp
Yes.
her, and she can help them in
And
terms of starting out their application as well.
absolutely. Scholarship options. I think, Sanguine, you can also address this. We've briefly addressed this in one of our slides about the Global Wildcat Awards. But if you could just add to for students, who are looking at, something more, or, some other options that they can explore for scholarship.
So the Office of International Admissions for our incoming freshman students, like Anju had mentioned before, we are offering our Global Wildcat Award, and that is a merit-based award, and we award that based on GPA. When you submit your application and your transcripts, our admissions evaluators, they will be reevaluating your GPA and awarding you based on that. Other than that, we also have a great scholarship portal called Scholarship Universe. And on that portal, it has like over hundreds of different scholarship opportunities that you could apply for. So students can search for different scholarship opportunities there, depending on their major. They have scholarships for students who want to be journalists. They have scholarships for women studying STEM. So there's a lot of other scholarship opportunities there. If you are interested in our honors college does have different scholarship opportunities for the current students there as well. And I believe in some instances, once you become a student, you are able to receive scholarships from the department themselves. I know that some departments, for example, psychology, they were awarding excelling students scholarships as well. So we do have a lot of different opportunities, but for the Office of International Admissions, we have our Global Wildcat Award. And just to kind of briefly talk about graduate scholarship opportunities, graduate college scholarship opportunities, they are pretty much dependent on the funding. So like Anil mentioned before, the assistantships, the graduate assistantships, and they have research assistantships as well. And that's how scholarships will kind of be awarded. And when you receive those funding opportunities, like Anil said before, the tuition will be waived. So those are the scholarship opportunities that we have.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I just quickly add one thing. Sorry, Apurva.
Yeah.
One very frequently asked question is also about the scholarship application. So just to very quickly add, we do not need a separate application for scholarship. On the basis of your main application that you apply for admission would be considered as your application towards scholarship as well. Yeah, so thank you.
Sanguine, is the honors college option available at admission?
I am unsure for the fall. I think they might have closed their
15th February was the deadline. 15th Feb was the deadline.
Yeah, I think February was the deadline. But even if you don't get in as a freshman your first semester, after completing a couple of your courses and getting I think over a 3.0 or 3.5 GPA, you can self-elect yourself to join the honors college. So you can request and have them look over your GPA, and you can actually join the honors college your second semester, because that's what I did as an undergrad. So you do have opportunities to join later if you can't join your first semester.
And also, is English, is Duolingo still accepted as an English proficiency test?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Apurva, I'll take one direct question, which came in, which is, what are the courses you can take to earn the 15 credits before joining? I think that's in regards with the Uarizona Academy. So would you like to answer, or you want me to answer that?
No, go ahead, and we have a list of courses that
Yeah.
maybe you can send to the student later on.
Yes, yes. We do have a very huge list of courses, and we keep on updating that list, Gitanjali. So depending on which major you would like to start off when you graduate from your high school in the university, the team, the Arizona team would be helping you. The enrollment counselor would get in touch with you once you apply to design a course or the foundation units and general education units that you need to take up to join the university later. So it could be anything to do with the biology, psychology, calculus, So there's a huge range of courses which are available, and we'll be sharing that list with you. If you wish, drop an email to us and we will be happy to share that list for you to have an understanding of the courses.
And
Anju, I think also answered.
Go ahead, Ayush.
Yeah.
Sorry,
go ahead,
one quick thing I wanted to add to that is I didn't know about this UA Academy, the UAP program, but there is a similar program in the States. It's called Running Start, where you are able to take some college credits that, like in high school, that are able to transfer to college. So you don't have to take those classes in college, and you can kind of get a little bit of a head start on that. I did that, and I loved it because you kind of get a little bit of that college experience, that college workload before actually going head on right into the program itself, right into all of the work. So it's a good segue to take. And this UAP program sounds very, very similar to that. So if you are able, I would definitely recommend doing that. So you get a little bit of a head start on your college courses, your credits. And I think it was also mentioned that those credits could be transferred to any other school, but hopefully you use them at the University of Arizona.
Thank you. Thank you, Ayush. Okay, so Sanika, would you like to unmute yourself and ask your set of questions that you have?
Thank you so much for doing this. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be a little louder.
Yeah. Hi, good morning. I'm Sanika, and I actually go to an IB school in Pune. And I was wondering how the credit transfer works through IB schools specifically, because I've learned that in universities that you can, for certain subjects, certain higher level subjects, you get credits for university for the IB subject. So if you can give me any overview on the same. That would be wonderful.
Sanguine?
We actually have a page available, and I'll actually put it in the chat for you. Once you send us your IB scores, you can kind of see what it'll transfer as. And for example, if you took biology, HL, and you received a 5 or above, for general education, it could transfer as one of our natural science general education courses, or if you wanted to get course credit for it as one of our biology or ecology courses, the lower level courses, you could receive credit like that. So I would suggest that you go into the link that I sent and you review the chart, and you can kind of see what we accept. And I believe this is for the 2020-2021 terms, and I think it might update for 2021 to 2022 if you're applying for the fall 2021 term. So, but you can see generally what we accept and what it'll be accepted as.
I do have something to add to that also, just because I know I actually transferred from a different university my freshman year of college, but I think this could be something useful for all of you. If you are planning on going to a grad school or a master's program, medical school, law school, anything of that nature, I know it's really early right now, but if those are things that you're already thinking about, for your higher level courses, I would recommend that you take those at the University of Arizona, because a lot of medical schools, law schools, other programs like that will look to see if you took those courses in college. So for example, I did what the American version of the IB program is, like AP biology and AP chemistry. And while those are pre-med requirements for medical school, I did retake them in college because it looks better to medical schools and graduate programs. So just keep that in mind, that while your higher level classes may transfer, you still may want to take them in college. But for the lower level classes, those are great transfer credits. And you should probably want to take your major classes at college itself.
Thanks, Anmol. Sanika, do you have any other questions?
Great. Yeah, thank you so much. I actually have just one more question. It's
Go
about
ahead.
the study abroad opportunity. Like, I was looking into some prospective study abroad opportunities, and I was wondering if you could elaborate on the National Student Exchange, because I found that pretty intriguing from my side. And if there's any information you can give me on the National Student Exchange itself.
What was that,
Um,
Apurva? I'm not sure.
Yeah, sir, I could not hear the question myself. Sanika, would you like to just, cut it short and maybe ask again?
Yeah, I was just asking if you could elaborate on the National Student Exchange, the study abroad opportunities.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So study abroad is something that is a very strong program at the UFA. Anmol, you might have some information on the study abroad program.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm currently a political science major, as I kind of briefly mentioned. But basically, every department, whether you go into science, law, any major that you choose, whatever department you choose, they all have their own study abroad programs. So, for example, for political science, we have a very large list of programs that you can choose from and places that you can go to. And basically, the way that they work is you can either do foundational courses in a foreign country, or you can also do your major courses if you go with your department. And basically, the way those works is we have semester long programs where you can do that for one whole semester. You can do it for a year, or you can even do it over the summer. And basically, every program is different. Every department offers different places. So it really just depends on what major you choose, but you're gonna figure out your study abroad programs that are available to you once you join U of A. I know for me personally, we had lectures come in almost every day. Um, and posters all around campus that talked about study abroad programs. There's also a University of Arizona website that specifically mentions all of the study abroad programs. I think it's like ua.study abroad, something like that. If you just look up University of Arizona study abroad programs, I'm sure you'll find everything that we offer, but you can go to almost any country in the world. So I would look at that for more information.
Thanks, Anmol. Thank you. I think that was very helpful. Guys, I know a lot of you have so many questions, but we're actually, running a little late. I think it's pretty late for all of the people who joined us from Tucson. So I'll quickly, just wrap up the session. Of course, I'll request Anju to extend the thank you note. But before we do that, I wanted to announce the winners and also remind you all to register for the world tour that is coming up next month. We will of course contact you guys for the same, and I know there are one or two questions. We will get in touch with you with the answers. So the winners for today's quiz are the first question was won by Jubreen. Jubreen, if you're here, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Second
ma'am.
was Sanika. Sanika, congratulations. And for the third question, it was Pranav Sehgal. Congratulations, Pranav.
All right. Good job.
Awesome. Really great.
Congratulations to all the winners. We'll get in touch with you to send across the goodie bags. And now I will request Anju to quickly, give like a thank you note and end the session.
Thank you, everyone, for such an informative, lovely, fun, enriching session all at the same time. So really appreciate you staying back late at night, and I'm sure, it's a weekend is just slipping in. So really appreciate your time, and I'm sure the students who joined us, thanks a lot to all of you. And this recording would be available. We'll be sending a link to you so that you can listen to the questions and answers again. But we are always happy to answer your questions through WhatsApp calls and emails. Reach out to us. So good night, everyone who is in US. Thanks again, Anmol, Ayush, Sanguine, and a huge thanks to Professor Anil Agarwal as well, again, all the time for all the support, and Apurva. Thanks very much. Hope to see you all again soon on the same platform.
Have a
Take
great day
care.
and happy
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
Anmol. Thank you,
Bye.
Ayush. Thank you, and thanks
Thank
a
you
lot.
all.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.